You're observant. You understand that we are not treating the planet the way we should be. You've heard of the word pollution, and maybe you've even seen it in your own community, coming out of buildings or the back of your mom's car. For some of you, you're lucky enough to not have to deal with the immediate effects from not treating the planet the way we should be, and only hear about it in school. For others of you, you face these injustices with your own community members every day. Others like you have to wear a mask or can't go out and play because some days the pollution is too thick. Others like you visit the doctor more often than necessary because of asthma or coughing from breathing bad air. Others like you aren't so lucky. The poor air quality gets in the way of your health and your play, and you just wish it would go away. You see, this pollution that I'm talking about comes from fossil fuels. Have you ever thought about how we can turn on the lights, heat up or cool down our classrooms and houses, or drive our cars? All of these use energy coming from fossil fuels, or specifically coal, oil, and natural gas, which causes climate change. Their production causes both environmental and human health issues. These resources have powered industrialization over history and continue to do so today. But we can't use them forever. They took hundreds of millions of years to form, immense amounts of pressure and heat, which means they aren't renewable, not in our lifetime at least. Some of the fossil fuels we use today are older than dinosaurs.
Starting in the 1760s, the Industrial Revolution changed the world. With the invention of the steam engine, we were able to go farther than ever before, faster. We were able to build cities taller and bigger than ever thought possible. We were able to make machines do the work of 100 men. This was all made possible by fossil fuels. What started as a great way to generate power soon became an industry that destroys the world that we live in. It hurts people, it hurts our beaches, it hurts our forests, and it hurts our planet. Now, in order to get to these fossil fuels that we are so used to using, we have to cut down forests, make water dirty, or destroy natural ecosystems. Oil spills aren't the only way that fossil fuels contaminate the resources we use every day. Fracking is a growing method that we use to get gas out of the earth. No, not that kind of gas. Fracking is a fancy way of saying we drill into rocks underground and pump water, sand, and chemicals at high pressure into these drill holes, which fractures the rocks, and then gas comes out which we can burn for power. The chemicals in the water used for fracking ends up leaking into underground reservoirs that people like you and me drink from every day. Families living near fracking sites have lost their clean drinking water because of fossil fuel companies drilling. Would you want to drink water that looks like this?
It is important to remember that we are connected to the environment. Our ways of life involving food, health, and culture are dependent on our planet's health. Right now, more carbon is being pumped into the air than the amount that scientists say is safe for us. This is not just an environmental issue, it is a human rights issue that affects you, your family, your friends, and your community members. Our air quality is getting worse from pollution by the second, which will lead to more sickness. While no one is completely free from these health hazards, people who live near these pollution sites are more exposed to these dangers and suffer the most. Meanwhile, the people responsible for these destructive decisions are making the most money. We all want to be treated fairly. Imagine if someone used your backyard for something that they say will be good for everyone, but all you see is the destruction of your home and your family getting sicker. When you and your family try to fight back, you can tell that the people doing this to you do not care. They're not even listening. This is what many indigenous people who have been living off of and respecting the land for many years deal with. Climate change leads to greater and stronger hurricanes, floods, droughts, and heat waves, which have already affected millions of lives. We do not want you to spend every day fearing for your life, but as older students, we think it is important for you to know because we do not want to leave you a planet like this. We want to work together with you to break this cycle of unfair treatment and stop it from getting worse.
Not all hope is lost, however. With the use of renewable energies, we can still save the Earth. Those funny-looking things on your roof are solar panels, and solar panels convert the light that is given off from the sun into electricity. Unlike fossil fuels, solar energy creates no smoke, carbon dioxide, nor any other pollutants, and that's why it's so great. We need more funny-looking things on our roof. Next is wind power. The moving air, wind, has huge amounts of kinetic energy, and this can also be turned into electricity with wind turbines. The wind turns the blades which are connected to the generator, which makes electricity. These wind turbines usually sit on top of mountains where it's windier, and they power the schools and homes below. The oceans have incredible potential too, and we are now able to harness their power. Hydropower uses the up-down movements of the waves to also create kinetic energy, and then we can use that for electricity. Hydropower is not perfect yet, but maybe by the time you grow up, you will be able to solve the hydropower problem. Solar, wind, and ocean power are all great alternatives to fossil fuels, but they are not perfect just yet. And as we know, the sun goes down every night, the wind is not always blowing, and the oceans can be very calm. Scientists every day are finding new ways to make these renewables better, and maybe one day you will develop the next best technique to get away from fossil fuels.
Your carbon footprint is increased with transportation, electricity, food, and buying stuff. Some easy changes you can make in your home are turning off your lights and devices when you aren't using them. Try walking, riding your bike, or carpooling for travel. Use reusable grocery bags. Buying less stuff or buying used goods are great alternatives. Did you know one pair of jeans uses about 78 bathtubs of water to make? The closer food is grown to your home, the less carbon dioxide enters the atmosphere from trucks, planes, and ships. Growing some of your own fruits and veggies is even better, and you know where your food is coming from. Maybe even plant a tree. New plants and trees help to remove the carbon dioxide from the air. One of the larger changes you can make to fight climate change is becoming vegetarian or vegan. A vegetarian diet avoids all animal meat. A vegan diet is a plant-based diet that eliminates all animal foods such as meat, dairy, eggs, and even honey. Raising animals for food causes more greenhouse gas emissions than all of the cars in the world combined, and is responsible for about 80% of the United States water consumption. One day you'll be able to choose better options like an energy-efficient car, installing solar panels on your house, or maybe even choosing an environmental career. The most important thing you can do is stay curious and observant. The fight against climate change also needs you to stand up, speak out, and take action against injustice. As Dr. Seuss once said, unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not.